While cryptocurrencies are correcting and people see Bitcoin bottoming, new customers to Bitcoin are asking the same questions in this roller coaster of cryptocurrency. While we have developments across the world, let's take a look into the past to see how the new user psychology of the Bitcoin market value has changed from exactly 1 year ago today, and let's discuss. Hey everybody, I'm Gary Palmer Jr., you're you, and together, welcome to Minting Coins. So there's been a lot going on in the world of cryptocurrency. There's been a lot going on in terms of the news and the markets. There's been the markets going up pretty dramatically over the course of the past couple of weeks, and over the past 7 days or so, we've seen the value of the market sort of go sideways or go down. The total market cap of the Bitcoin space hovering around that $100 billion mark, flirting with it as we go above and back below the $100 billion as Bitcoin has been increasing in value but then pulling back. It's been creating a lot of fear for people, a lot of uncertainty and a lot of doubt, especially with some of the news that is coming out as that relates around the conflicts with the miners and the conflict with the forking of Bitcoin and the potential split. People are purchasing in at whatever price they're purchasing in, and then they're wondering, did I make a good decision? Why is the price going down? What's going on? What is this whole market really based on? It's a lot of questions for people who are just getting into the space because it's a new area with a lot of different detail. So with that being said, what I wanted to do in this video is just show you some of the Bitcoin psychology as we can see on some of the Bitcoin talk forums, and how the situations that people have experienced in the past relate to the situations that we see today with the price and with the value of Bitcoin. So with that being said, let's take a quick peek at the market. Let's dive into the news and let's discuss. So here we are looking at the cryptocurrency market capitalizations courtesy of coinmarketcap.com. So they changed their website, and so we don't have our cool instant data that they were showing at the top of the website. I hope this is just a fluke and they bring that information back, because it was really convenient for us to instantly see the total market cap and the total trading volume and the Bitcoin dominance, because now we have to just dive in a little bit deeper, and that's okay. We're still going to be able to get that information. So in the market, looking at the top 10, EOS is new into space. The EOS is a blockchain technology. This is from the creators of Steemit, as I understand, and they're going to be looking to do a lot of interesting projects with the EOS system. And with its launch, it's dived into number 9 position, and here we are with its increase, 92%. We've also had a huge increase in Litecoin. I remember not too long ago, you were able to get 100 Litecoin for about 1 Bitcoin. Now it looks like 100 Litecoin is going to cost you, almost 2 Bitcoins. And where we were seeing this 1% ratio between the Bitcoin and the Litecoin, this is really moving into a 2% ratio. So now 2% of the $2,500 Bitcoin price is $50, and we see that Litecoin is approaching that 2%. What does this mean? Does this mean that the promise of Litecoin is starting to catch up with society, or is this simply a precursor to a $5,000 Bitcoin where we're going to go back to that 1% ratio, and so which direction is that going to go? A lot of speculation in both directions. But the point is that the Litecoin has potential utility, the Bitcoin has potential utility, people are buying these coins, and while a lot of people are looking at these as a Ponzi scheme, there is actual value in terms of being able to spend these coins. And so I just wanted to show you, there's this petition from change.org where we have Amazon should accept Bitcoin and Litecoin cryptocurrency as payment methods ASAP. And so this is a petition, and we have over 5,000 supporters for this petition. We need another 2,400 plus to reach 7,500. And this is just being directed at Jeff Bezos, the CEO and essentially owner of Amazon.com. It's a public company, but he's running things over there. And people are asking, and it's getting to the point where people are demanding that Amazon accept Litecoin and Bitcoin. This can happen now. Amazon knows that this can happen now through a third-party service, Purse.io. And if and when Amazon accepts Bitcoin and Litecoin, it's going to open up a huge market, millions and millions of people across the world, into what is this Bitcoin? What is this Litecoin? Now that we can accept it on Amazon. Amazon purchased Whole Foods, and so if Amazon purchased Whole Foods and Amazon starts accepting Bitcoin and Litecoin, will anyone be able to purchase food with Bitcoin and Litecoin? And then all the folks that say, you know, we can't buy milk with Bitcoin, well, that may change very soon as Amazon updates its payment systems, and as you know, Amazon starts entering your local neighborhood through the grocery retailer. Very, very interesting stuff. People have jumped into the Amazon support, the Amazon help forum, have asked Amazon directly, is this on the roadmap? And it is a clear yes. Amazon is fully aware of Litecoin, Bitcoin, and for the potential to open up extreme new sources of revenue. As lots of people have these cryptocurrencies, they're accepted in a universal worldwide sense where anyone can send anyone, in this case Amazon, a direct transaction, a direct payment. And this is really going to facilitate the ecosystem as we see these deals start to kick up and kick on through. So that speaks to the utility. Let's take a look at a Bitcoin talk forum from about 1 year ago today, and let's see what some users were experiencing back when they were purchasing into Bitcoin at a high price, and then watch the price crash right before their eyes, questioning if they were making good decisions or not. Let's take a peek at this. So here we are at bitcointalk.org, and there's this post. The topic is Bitcoin dump. And so we see here, this is June 23rd, 2016, about 1 year ago. And this user is mentioning that Bitcoin is being dumped real hard. What do you think is happening? And what do you think is causing such a downturn? They're speculating, is it Ethereum? Is it you know, just whales dumping? What's happening? This other user mentions, yeah, it's down all the way down to 540. And so that was a very low price. It was touching as high as $800 during this time 1 year ago. And when people were purchasing at 600 or 700 or 750, and then it dropped all the way to 540, people are really freaking out. And so there was just a lot of panic between the sellers, and the price, as they were recognizing in this forum, isn't going to stop going down until everyone is done selling their coins. You know, some whales were shorting Bitcoin. Traders buy Bitcoin, traders sell Bitcoin. They're in there to make money. They're not in there for the long-term ride to the moon. Maybe they want to be, but in the meantime, they're going to be jumping in and out of the water, you know, just playing the market to try to make that profit in between. But you have other people who are just buying and holding, and they bought high. So it goes on to say that a lot of newbies thinking that buying Bitcoin today will make them rich after a few months, and then they see a sudden drop and they're scared that they're probably not going to recover their investment. Sound familiar with what we're hearing in the past week with everyone purchasing at $2,800, $2,900? So what they don't know is that this kind of behavior is the new normal in Bitcoin, and they need to get used to it. Yeah, pump and dump is the new normal. Happens all the time. Emphasis on all the time, right? This is how we get profit in BTC, and this is good for traders unless they bought in at a higher price. And when this user is talking about he's talking about traders, the people who are in there buying and selling, risking their shirts. You know, it's really risky buying and selling, in my opinion, infinitely more risky than simply buying and holding, dollar cost averaging, and you know, not risking more than you can afford to lose. So this forum goes on. The question is, when will be the next Bitcoin pump? When are they going to pump that price back up? The groups are pumping, and once they're all done pumping the altcoins, they're going to go back and start pumping Bitcoin. It's sort of a back and forth game. Bitcoin goes up, the rest of the coins go down, the rest of the coin goes down, Bitcoin goes up. We see this with the Bitcoin dominance index, and so it's breathing, right? It's going up, it's going down. I can pop over to that really quick and show you. So here we are. Since January 1st, we've had a pretty massive decrease in the Bitcoin dominance, as this has been decreasing here. But with this uptrend over the past week or so, we see that the Bitcoin dominance has simply been increasing slightly from its low point when it was flirting, as in purple here, the Ethereum was rising. And so people were speculating that these were going to collide and crash and cross, and that this would be the Ethereum Bitcoin flippening, when the total market capitalization of Ethereum was going to supersede the total market capitalization of Bitcoin. But it really didn't come as close as it potentially could have, and now we see them veering in opposite directions. And so this is the back and forth with the pumps and with the dumps. And so surprisingly, the posts being made in these topics forums are not much better than other ones. So again, people are just freaking out about the fear and about the uncertainty. And so this is just a natural reaction as the price jumps so high. And so what happens is that the price jumps high, sellers sell, the price falls. When people see the new low price, they want to jump in so they can potentially get Bitcoin again at a low price from where it was, and then purchase in and then continue riding the ride up, because Bitcoin is limited. There's never going to be more than 21 million, and so it's extremely difficult to manipulate or to game the Bitcoin market. It's not as if you can purchase a Bitcoin certificate that represents one Bitcoin, and if you could, who would want that? Because it wouldn't be a real Bitcoin, right? And so any potential that people have to purchase Bitcoin at the lower price, especially as they see the price increasing and then stabilizing, then they definitely want in. And just to make that maybe make sense in today's term, if you saw Bitcoin at $1,900 or $1,500 or $1,200, would you consider, purchasing that Bitcoin if it was under $1,500? Probably. Why is that? That's because just 7 months ago, Bitcoin was $800, and it's highly, highly unlikely that we're going to be able to see a Bitcoin price under $1,000 again. I don't see that happening. I know it could happen. We can touch that with some of the markets. Like somebody could, potentially reach that, sell at that price, but not very likely. So it's a natural reaction for the price to jump so high and then stabilize. However, it will become steady for a moment soon, because the price of Bitcoin is dependent. So do not spread FUD to horrify the people. And so I feel like that's what I'm trying to help everyone understand. Don't spread the FUD. Don't spread the fear. The price is going to go up. The price is going to go down. The price is limited. And so the price at some point is going to be stabilizing, and then people want to see if it's going to hold. This person says the halving is coming soon, and so if the volume of the demand keeps at pace, and the demand and then a new supply is decreasing from the halving, then this person is expecting that the price of Bitcoin will go up. So let's talk about the halving real quick. So this was happening in June, the end of June 2016. And in August, I believe it was August 2016, we had the Bitcoin halving. And so before then, every 10 minutes with the Bitcoin mining network and all the miners securing the Bitcoin network, new Bitcoin is being generated every 10 minutes on average as a part of this process. And so before the halving in 2016, these were 25 new Bitcoins were minted every 10 minutes. And then after this halving in 2016, that got cut in half. So then only 12.5 Bitcoins are minted every 10 minutes. And this halving is going to happen again in 2020. That's why everyone keeps on mentioning 2020 and talking about 2020, because when around August 2020 comes about, there's going to be this another great halving, and then there's only going to be about 6.25 Bitcoins generated every 10 minutes on average. And so in 2020, the supply of new Bitcoins is going to be cut in half. And the demand of Bitcoin may be much greater than it is now. But even if the demand stays the same and the supply of new Bitcoins decreases, then we would still expect to see that increase in price because of the supply and demand. And so people were recognizing at this point the price was touching upon $800 and then crashed all the way down to $540. But some people realized, particularly BTC binary here, realized that the halving was just around a corner, and when that happened, then they could see that price increase even further. So it goes on to say, epic shakeout, enjoy the discount. So when that Bitcoin price falls, then it's sale on Bitcoin. And people see that as a great opportunity to get in, because as some people are selling, other people are buying. So this person goes on to say the price is not yet stable. We're just hours later here. For the past 4 hours, I've seen the price touch 556, 566, 590, and now 570. And so this person's saying that because the price is so different across 4 hours that it's not stable. Just crazy talk, right? It's like, well, let's see how the price stabilizes across the week and see if the price is stable. They're judging the price of Bitcoin on an hour-by-hour basis because they are focused on the buying and selling from a trading mentality. Or if they're buy and hold people, then man, they're just wasting their time and wasting their energy like a hummingbird, you know, for no reason, just because long term it's going to go up. Just don't get caught up with these ups and downs. So exactly, people are waiting for the price to go down to enter the market. Now here's your chance to start buying at sub $600 prices, because they're not seeing $600 prices anymore. By the end of the year, the price went to $800, $900, just under $1,000 by December, and yeah, we're not touching those $800 prices again, let alone sub $600 prices from 1 year ago. So dumping the last pump is not what I call dumping the real value. The last pump was hardly considered stable. So I see nothing wrong if the market wants to play to reach a solid value. You cannot expect a solid rock of value after a pump like that. It's need of plenty of consolidation. So people, you know, this person is saying that the market needs to contract a little bit. You need to consolidate, get rid of the extra weight. And then this person goes on to say, yes, perfect time to increase the Bitcoins in the wallet. Price is good for making some extra investment, as the price is expected to go higher at the halving. Again, another person recognizing that the halving is going to be happening, and that supply and demand is going to have a huge effect. And so then we have this guy, Dodgrad, and this person says, exactly, that's probably the last moment to buy cheap Bitcoin. This is really subjective. What's cheap Bitcoin? Because if Bitcoin hits $100,000, then, you know, $10,000 Bitcoin is going to be super cheap, right? So I don't expect that the price will go down more. And after the halving, some people predict that the price of Bitcoin can jump even to $3,000. Time will show. So, you know, it would have been interesting if that would have been qualified. Is it going to jump to $3,000 by the end of the year? Or is it going to jump to $3,000 by exactly 1 year later? because exactly 1 year later, the price did jump to $3,000. The predictions and the comments that this person has, that these people were talking about, were dead on in terms of hindsight being 2020, and the people who bought and held did see the price go to $3,000. Simply amazing. So it's just really, really interesting. Not that hard. It's natural. If the Bitcoin price was so stable, the market will get slowed down as people don't have a chance to make a profit from it. Sometimes the price is rising. Bitcoin needs time to stabilize its position. And lastly here, reaching $3,000 is not part of the story. While we are still far below the $1,000 price level, at this point we don't even know whether or not we'll hit $800 just before the block halving. So there's naysayers, there's people who are sort of spreading some fear and definitely some uncertainty, perhaps some doubt. There's other people that are sharing some hype, and so you have this back and forth, this battle between these two sides. And that's why it's critical for you to make decisions for yourself. I think it's critical for you to have education to understand, why is Bitcoin valuable? Why is it valuable that there's only 21 million Bitcoins that are ever going to be created? Why is it valuable that it's decentralized? Why is it valuable that it's provable that how much Bitcoin anybody has on that Bitcoin network? And then understanding, you know, that great halving is coming in 2020. The supply is going to get cut in half again. And as there's more fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that's perhaps a time to buy when the price is going down and it's hitting a lower point. That's a time to buy. When everyone's talking about it and when Bitcoin is at all-time highs, that's probably not a time to buy, but a time to pay attention and to see what's going on. Again, right now there's not a lot of talk about Bitcoin in the news, and that's a good thing, because as long as they're saying bad things about Bitcoin in the mainstream media, that means that we're all still early adopters. But again, the moment we start hearing about Bitcoin at a higher level, at more of a conscious level in terms of the mainstream media, the nightly news, the local news, the corporate cable news networks, you know, we've seen a lot coming from CNBC, but as we start hearing about this from other sources and major sources advocating Bitcoin, that's when we know that the banks have their position, the institutions have their position, the news anchors have their position, and then they're going to be layering the masses that then add their wealth, later in the game. So hopefully you make your decisions before then, you make your positions before then, for better or for worse. We'll see where this is going to go, and it's just super exciting. I'm looking forward to a year from now, looking at the Bitcoin talk forums and looking at the Reddit forums and people saying, you know, talking about the $3,000 price crashing all the way down to $2,100, and then looking at the price 1 year from now and just seeing where it's at. But with that being said, we have a lot more information coming out. There's breaking news on a daily basis. We're really excited to be bringing this information to you. Please tap that like button, share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'm glad that together we're minting coins.